Welcome back to Sunday Agenda. Former President Trump is gearing up for a busy holiday season inside the courtroom. Trump's legal troubles are mounting with two appeals court rulings coming down this week, affecting two cases already underway. Let's bring in our panel right here. First up is David Schoen, who is former President Trump's impeachment lawyer. Do we have Barak with us too? All right. We also have Barak Lurie. He is a trial attorney and host of the Barak Lurie Show. Thank you so much for joining us. So let's start off with you, David. A federal appeals court has ruled that Trump is not immune to facing civil lawsuits relating to the events on January 6th. This rejects his bid to dismiss the case. Can you walk us through what this actually means for Trump now?
Yeah, it's actually sort of a preliminary ruling. There's a motion to dismiss filed. And the standard there is the court has to accept all of the allegations in the complaint as true. But they make sure in several places in the Court of Appeals opinion to say, this is certainly not the final word. President Trump will have opportunities to prove that he acted in his official capacity. And that's the key here. Under this longstanding case, Nixon versus Fitzgerald, a president acting in his or her official capacity is thought to be immune from civil liability, from being sued while the person's in office and so on, and from civil liability for those acts. The president ought to be entitled to act in the way the president deems to be in the best interest of the country. Here, specifically, the president would be arguing, among other things, that he acted pursuant to Article 2, Section 3, for example, his duty to take care that the laws of the nation are faithfully executed, or his oath under Article 2, Section 1, to make sure that the Constitution is protected. He would say that he's operating in his official capacity at all times when he took those steps because he believed there was election fraud. So the court said he's going to have a chance to prove that down the road. Let's hope the district court judge lets him.
That's an interesting point there. And now, Barak, let's go to Trump's civil case in New York. Deutsche Bank, did it just completely destroy Attorney General Tish James' lawsuit against Trump? David Williams, who directly worked on at least one of several loans obtained by Trump over several decades, testified on Tuesday in Manhattan that and Zero Hedge is reporting that Williams says after the bank cut his stated net worth nearly by half in 2011 and 2012, they still lent Trump the loans because, quote, it expected them to generate a profit based on Trump's history of successful developments and other criteria. So, Barak, how much of a witch hunt is this actually by corrupt AG James? I mean, she actually campaigned on this issue to get Trump well before she looked into any of his finances. I've only bought 2 properties with my husband, and the bank is the boss. So it's the bank appraiser, not Judge Engeron, that can decide how much a property is worth.
Well, this is the moment that I was waiting for. I think we were all waiting for. Like, this is the only plaintiff that could actually express any sort of damages that they may have suffered. If the bank, did not suffer any damages about this, then the case is closed. So finally, they brought the bank in, and the bank said, we didn't have a problem with this. The loan was perfectly appropriate. We went ahead with the loan based upon, as you said, the history and record of Trump to be very profitable and to make profit. And then sure enough, of course, they themselves made a lot of profit. They got paid fully with interest and any other costs that may be associated with this loan. And so here they are. The case should be done. I think it was done from the get-go. But nevertheless, now that they have Deutsche Bank there is no case to be found. And if they do proceed somehow and they say that technically that Trump lied on an application, well, okay, it will be reversed on appeal.
Right. And David, so basically in this case, Tish James is saying that Trump overvalued his assets. So what do you think about this? This is unprecedented. Should business leaders all across the country be worried that if say, an AG doesn't like you, they'll come after you to try to destroy your empire?
Well, in New York, they should be. This is a very peculiar statute. It's not a statute, it's an executive law. It's unique to New York, really. And the problem with it is we always think of fraud, as Barak said, we always think of fraud as requiring victims and losses. And if a statement is false, it has to be material to that loss and so on. The screwy part of this law that I think ultimately requires it to be struck down is that there's no loss required, no victim required. It simply goes to whether a false statement was made without any impact. We know from the start there are no losses. These banks do their due diligence. They didn't rely on anything Trump said. They did their due diligence. They made the loans and they made money off of them. That should have been the end of it. And you're right, Barak's right. It never should have been brought. And you're also right that she campaigned on getting Trump, which in itself was a complete ethical violation. But I'm afraid because this law reads as it does, and this Judge Engoron is so hell-bent on getting Trump, the case will go on now because of the nature of this law. But I think he's going to challenge it down the road on a number of grounds. I think they should have asked for a jury trial. The case law doesn't provide for one, but that's because it's generally thought to be a regulatory statute. Here, taking away his business, $250 million fine, looks like punitive, looks like damages. I think he was entitled to a jury trial.
Yeah.
That's an interesting point there. And Barak Lurie, finally to you, do you believe the American people should be able to watch the entire Trump trials on live TV?
I would love that personally. I think that it's a very appropriate thing for to happen. Trump certainly would like it because he wants to expose how they're making the sausage. This is a terrible thing that's going on, and I really want to hold the judge's feet to the fire as well as the prosecutor's feet to the fire. This should be an embarrassment to us all, to the judicial system. As a lawyer, I think this is really offensive.
All right, gentlemen, thank you so much for being with us this afternoon.
Thank you, Lydia.